All right, come in, hit like and hit share. Just got back. Let's do 5 minutes of fame. And as we do this 5 minutes of fame, I'm also we're going to have a little story time, right? So let me share this with you. As you come in, drop your city and state, say hello. On this Christmas Eve, let's try to make this live stream. Let's get it going. Let's get it rolling. Because it is Christmas Eve, right? The blood of an Englishman, be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
Gracious, no, my sweet. It's the crumbs from the boys you had for breakfast that you smell.
Well, what's cooking for supper tonight, woman?
Oh, no, don't bother with the oven. I have your 6 roasted pigs right here.
The giant gobbled his supper. Then, woman, bring me my magic hen.
Biscuit, and oh, think about it. It could take a rest after all the cooking.
Now, woman.
Of course, my sweet. Here she is.
Lay, hen, lay.
Come in, drop your city and state, say hello so I can highlight your name. We still got 2 minutes, right? This is leading into what this live stream is leading into.
He's a golden egg every time he hollers lay.
Soon the giant, comfortable and drowsy, dozed off.
Now's my chance.
Jack sneaked from the oven, seized the hen, and scrambled down the beanstalk fast as breeze lightning.
Mother, see what I found? It's Father's hen, look! Lay, hen, lay! What? Oh, these look like solid gold. They are. She's really magic. Oh, Mother, we'll never be hungry again. We can sell the eggs.
And so they did, for a while. But Jack couldn't get the castle in the sky out of his head.
That old ugly giant still got my father's heart. Nothing to do but go and get it.
So Jack made a plan. Took to the beanstalk again and banged on the castle gate.
You again? Oh, my husband's been stomping all over, looking for you ever since his precious hen disappeared. Yes, ma'am, I can explain all that if you'll just give me a bite to eat.
Well, now, the giant woman couldn't resist, so she gave Jack an apple tart. But just then...
I smell the blood of an Englishman.
Good Nick, jump in the wood box.
Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. He's in here somewhere, but he smells like the one who stole my hen.
Oh, no, it's only your supper you smell.
The giant gobbled potatoes right from the barrel and chopped down 6 roasted geese. Then,
Wife, bring me my magic harp.
Complain, bring me.
Hurry up, woman.
Here it is, my darling.
Play, harp, play.
That's it, my father's magic harp.
Ah, my sweet music.
Now's my chance.
Jack crept up onto the table, grabbed the harp, and ran. The harp became frightened.
Shh, he'll hear you.
Who dare steal my harp? I'll get you this time.
Jack clambered down the beanstalk with a giant puss behind him.
5, I'll catch you, thieving Englishman.
Get my axe.
All right, we're over the 5 minutes. Just want to share that little clip with you. I'm going to have a little story time because people I have to do it to you like in fairy tale type format because people really, because of the non-education in schools about,
Why, of course I will.
about real money, about taxes, and about the correct way to use credit right. People are really confused. So come on in. M. Jenkins said you're trying to catch my other live. Yeah, we're not going to, not planning on being here long, right? Not planning on being on here long. So the 5 minutes of fame is up. It is Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, right? Whatever your reason for celebrating the season. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Hope that everyone has safe travels. Hope everyone is financially at peace, right? And hope everyone knows where we are headed to 2021, right? Hope everyone knows where we're headed going into 2021. So another fairy tale clip that I want to share with you all is this one. Let's look at this, right? Which I titled How People Depend on Jobs and Government to Think, right? How people depend on jobs and government to think. Let me rewind. I don't think the volume was set. It's a short clip, so I want to get all of the beginning. How people rely on jobs. I think I left 2 out in government to think.
Look, I won't be any trouble because I don't need to think. And I won't try to manage things because I can't think. Won't you take me with you?
Why, of course I will.
Hooray! We're off to...
All right, they're off to see the wizard. The wizard is the person that's supposed to bail them out. If you saw Jack and the Beanstalk, right? Or if you remember Jack and the Beanstalk, Jack ends up getting the golden goose, or the goose that lays the golden eggs, right? And him and his mother were well off, right? And Jack and the Beanstalk, he climbs the beanstalk, if you know the beginning of it. He sells the cow because Jack does not want to do labor. He did not like manual labor, right? So his mother had him milking the cow. They were poor. And Jack decided, I'm going to sell this cow. And he sold the cow for magic beans, right? So he went home and took these magic beans to his mother. She threw the beans out the window, said, these beans are not magic, and you went and sold our cow that produced milk and dairy for beans that are not magical. They won't do anything, right? And so as she threw the beans out the window, this beanstalk began to grow, and it reached all the way up to the kingdom. I just think it's fascinating that choice of word would be used, right? We have so many people in the Christian religion or religion as well that does not understand the difference between kingdom and Christianity, right? God came, or Jesus came, or Yeshua came, right, to bring his kingdom onto earth. He always talked about the kingdom. If you read Matthew 25, it is a parable of what was wanted. He wanted to lead us with the kingdom influence on earth. He wanted to return to heaven, leave us with the kingdom influence. And when he returned, he wanted to see us multiply, right? He gave the servants talents, all according to their ability. Talents would represent our internal talents, our gifts within us to be prosperous, as well as monetary talent as well, right? Gold. And when he's upon his return, he's expecting for us to multiply that, not just in our natural form, right? In our spiritual form or man or well-being, but in the physical form as well, right? And so with that being said, Jack decided to climb the beanstalk. He sees this golden goose that lays golden egg. And Jack automatically identifies that we have given away the cow that only produced milk and dairy, right? And now we have a goose that produced the golden egg. And he recognizes that that gold is more valuable than the milk and dairy. You all have to recognize that gold, silver, land, and now cryptocurrency is assets, and they are more valuable than your cash. And so you have to convert that cash, convert that government made money. For example, with gold, which if you take the L out of gold, it spells God, for God's money. God's way of wealth will never decrease, right? It will always improve in value. But when people do not have a financial education, they don't understand converting cash into real assets, right? Just using a cash cow, like Jack did, right, in the beanstalk, of using the cash cow to get the gold. And then if you look later on, the second thing that Jack took from or stole from the giant or the ogre was a golden harp that played music. So Jack took the assets, right? And he gave away the cash cow for the gold. So this is why I would tell people to get into debt, get into credit, and get out of cash. And this is why. Because once you use credit, right? Once you use credit to invest, let's say real estate, it is non-taxable income. So how does the government keep you poor, like Jack and his mother was in the beanstalks, right? Or how do most Americans stay in poverty? Or how do most Americans continue to live paycheck to paycheck? This is why they don't know that they have become an economic slave to the Federal Reserve. Many don't know who the Federal Reserve is, what's the makeup of it is, right? And so like the Wizard of Oz, that the golden brick road represents the gold standard. Silver and gold is legal money. Cash, fiat currency, is legal tender. So like the Wizard of Oz and Dorothy in the movie had on ruby red slippers, but in the original book, she had on silver. It represented the gold and silver standard, right? The gold and silver standard. And it also represents, thank you so much for that, because people really don't understand the depth of what I'm teaching, right? They really don't get the depth or understand of what I'm teaching, right? And so in doing that and using it, yeah, Ms. Jenkins said she's gonna learn. If you stay tuned on this Christmas Eve, I'm giving you all the gift of knowledge for 2020 for this Christmas. The gift of knowledge that can have you free from financial stress and worries, right? The gift of knowledge that can have you free of financial stress and worries. If you know how to convert your cash into real assets, right? If you know how to use your credit to get assets and not liabilities. And so the whole point was the scarecrow, which represents the strong man or the workman, and then you have the tin man that represented the industrial age, right? Of working in warehouses and hard work and labor. And then you have the lion who lacked the courage. You have some people that lack the courage to speak out. Someone told me, for example, in one of my videos, that it takes great boldness to speak on the topics that I'm speaking on, because he was always told never speak on politics, sex, and money. And so usually, especially when it comes to marriage and relationships, I will discuss the connection of money and the stress that it can put on a marriage if you have the lack of a financial agreement, and why more marriages and relationships need to have financial counseling, right? So you all make sure that you hit that like button. I know it's Christmas Eve and people are out maybe getting their last minute gifts. So maybe some people did not get the notification that I am live. So hit that like button. This YouTube will notify them I'm live. So whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, or Periscope, share this, hit those hearts on Periscope, show some digital love, invite your followers and share with your followers as well. Sean, I'm glad you all in the room. So not everybody is out being consumers, right? Not everybody's out on this Christmas Eve. And if you're here on this Christmas Eve, be thankful, right? A lot of people did not make it to this point of the year, right? Be thankful. So Sean, I'm glad that you're in this room. Yes, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki is a great start of understanding the difference between assets and liability, right? He gives the story, like I'm giving you all story time, right? Of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the lessons he learned from his rich father, who was a a superintendent for public schools in Hawaii. And then the lesson that he learned from his best friend's father, who was a businessman, and that was a rich man. So Mary Money, if you all are watching in, right, whether you're watching this live or in the replay, let's put that in the hashtag. I like that. Thank you, Jones1. Everybody type in Mary Money, right? Mary Money. Let's make that the hashtag. Hello, Flo, for coming in. Mary Money. We're going to make that our hashtag. So everybody, hashtag in the comments, Mary Money, whatever platform that you are watching in. So the straw man, for the people that's just coming in, I think Sean just came in. And if you're in late as well, you need to watch the beginning of this, because I showed some of Jack and the Beanstalk, of how Jack gave away the cash cow, right, to get the gold, the golden goose, as well as the golden harp. So let me watch this again for some people. Just play this again. It's only a couple of seconds for some of the people that are just now coming in. And this is how people that have jobs, the Wizard of Oz and Jack and the Beanstalk, can teach you all a lot about money, right? It can teach you a lot about money, a lot about the difference between saving and investing. So this is the straw man that represents a lot of employees and are a lot of people that may be receiving government assistance, right?
Look, I won't be any trouble because I don't need to think. And I won't try to manage things because I can't think. Won't you take me with you?
Okay.
Why, of course I.
He said, I won't be in trouble because I don't even think. And I won't even try to manage things because I don't even think. Doesn't that sound like an employee? I won't rock the boat. I come in, do my 9 to 5, do my shift, right? We'll follow the rules and protocols. I won't really speak my opinion. I won't try to manage or grow the organization. I come in, do exactly what you want to do. And a lot of consumers right now that are not thinking, you're not thinking, you're not putting the pieces together. And this is going to lead to the middle class is going to get poorer in 2021, and the rich is already have begun to get richer, right? Thank you, King, for the $10 super chat. This Mary Money, so thank you. And look, as you all are watching this, you need to understand that there's only so much that you can get for free, right? There's only so much that you are going to get for free. Now, one thing that you are getting for free is the information. You are investing your time, but it comes a point in time that, and I have people that continue to get on and say, I don't understand it. I don't really understand what you're saying. And I'm telling you, if you will give or a monetary gift, right? If you can, and if this is my Cash App, your understanding will open up, right? Your understanding will open up. Your knowledge will expand, because it's the law of giving and sowing and the law of reciprocity, right? The law of giving and sowing and the law of reciprocity. So when people come on and, tell me, well, I don't get it, Queen, I don't really understand. Even when I show, right? Even when I show the fairy tales. You still can't get a connect because it's illegal to get a connection to something and you don't understand it, right? It's illegal to get a connection to something when you won't give into the person that's giving it to you. And that's why your understanding will not be fulfilled. That's why your understanding won't be 360. It will not come full circle, right? So let's look at how many trillionaires have been made during this era. So thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Sean says, Queen, have I heard of Road to Ruta, written by Federal Reserve Boston? It's a comic book that tells about the transitioning back to the gold standard. No, I have not, right? No, I have not heard of that, but I definitely will take a note and order that. This is one of my newest books that came in today. Yeah, YouTube might notify you late, but you made it. You're not too late to the party, right? You're not too late to the party. Thank you all on all my platforms. This is my latest book. You know, I'm sharing my book collection with you all. Reading, and it's the final stages of the New World Order, right? It is talking about the financial reset. It is talking about the return for the gold standards. It's even talking about the Queen's powers, that the Queen is above the law and cannot be prosecuted. She is also free from civil action. So this just the power of a woman is one chapter in this book. So page 117 is about the Queen's power. So I'm really going to love this. And I think on pages, because again, I just got this in the mail today, so I haven't really had a chance to look at it. Donald Trump begins on page 28, the end game. Is talking about that the digital standard, the digital dollar, just a lot of things about the transition of where we are going into 2021. So I always share my books with you all. So Sean, I definitely will look at that book. Sean says the Wizard of Oz was also written during the Gilded Age. We are now in the informational age, and the parables is just as relative as it was during the industrial age. Exactly. So the 10 man represent the industrial age. And then you have the lion that represent people that are cowardly. But you know what? There are a lot of people that are cowardly. More of these people that are cowardly are the politicians that really know the deception behind this. It's not really America or most of America, because most of America don't know. Strategically, you had the General Board of Education that was created to not teach this in school, to not teach this in the educational system. So if you're not a person that's seeking self-knowledge and informal education for formal education, you really don't know, right? You really don't know. And so let's look at trillionaires. The world has 46.8 millionaires, collectively owning about 158.3 trillion, right? So many trillionaires that were made this year. Jeff Bezos was one of them, right? And I'm trying to find an article that they're stating of how many trillionaires were made this year during this pandemic. Let me see, can I put this article up? I think it was about 650, right? 650 people that transition from millionaires or billionaires, I'm sorry, to trillionaires. So let me see, and if I can't find that article, that's fine. We're gonna move on. Let's see how many billionaires that became richer. Here we go. During this pandemic, right? During this pandemic. So billionaires saw their net worth increased by $500 billion people, $500 billion. So now we have people that's begging for $2,000, right? or even 600 from stimulus. And this is what separates them: knowledge and implementation. 40 million Americans filed for unemployment during this pandemic, but billionaires saw their net worth increase by $500 billion. This isn't the first time that billionaires have seen their gains while others dealt with loss, and it tends to tie back to two things. First, the government disappropriation to give aid to more larger companies. At first, they gave it to more larger companies. Now they're giving it to other countries, right? And the thing that I've been teaching you all about, along with credit and crypto, is wealthy-friendly tax laws, right? And even loopholes in them that keeps billionaires at the top. If you don't understand this tax game, you will always be lower middle class, live paycheck to paycheck, and your paycheck will produce less and less, right? Because anytime you work for a paycheck and you don't learn how to invest that cash and make that money work for you into assets, you'll always be behind the 8 ball, right? So wealthy friendly tax laws and loopholes then give those billionaires at the top. Knowing all of this, right? This is why I tell people, especially if you're middle class, to tap into a home-based business. So let's look at this article as well. The decline of the dollar going into 2021. This is why you want your dollar into assets, right? Dollar decline versus dollar collapse. Why is the dollar decline inevitable, while a collapse is unimaginable, right? So the US dollar declines when the dollar's value is lower compared to other currencies in the foreign exchange market. This manifests itself as a decline in the dollar index. So a decline in dollar and the value of US treasuries, right? And this is the weaker dollars buys less. This is what I want you all to understand in foreign goods. So you're going to see the increased pricing in foreign goods, especially with the trade war that we were having with China, for example. This increases the prices of imports, but it also contributes to inflation. So what is inflation? The rise in prices of your everyday goods and services. So as the dollar weakens, investors in the benchmark or the 2-year treasury and other bonds sell their dollar-dominated holdings. So what does that mean in layman terms, right? They're selling anything that they hold in dollar, but people that's living paycheck to paycheck are hoarding the dollar, right? So contracts for oil and other commodities are usually denominated in dollar. So while I'm on that topic, let me show you all how that our dollar became the petrodollar, right? After 1971, where President Nixon removed legal money, which was gold, from being connected or pegged, or what they say is pegged to the dollar. So this is what cash used to look like, right? I'm teaching. This is what cash used to look like. You will see in gold coin on your cash currency. It will not have anywhere on cash that this note is a legal tender for all debt. It will say it's payable to the redeemer on demand. So you could get this cash because it was lightweight, and then you would in return receive physical gold. Same thing with the silver or the dollar, right? You see it says $1 silver. $1 silver, United States of America. Silver certificate will be on the top of this, right? Silver certificate, $1 silver. Your cash does not read that anymore. So Queen, what does that mean? Okay, they made the reading differently from the cash than it is today. That's not a big deal. It's a very big deal. Let me show you why. Because again, as I told you all, 1971, President Nixon stopped allowing paper cash or gold and silver certificates to be redeemed for real money, right? Sean says the dollar will no longer be the reserve currency of the world. Rome is falling and we've gotten drunk off her wealth for too long. It's China. Yes. And Sean, let's try to get people connected to this because they They don't understand, but I'm going to try to explain it to them as simple as I can. Like I said, I'm going to have story time. So $1 in 1971, it worth $6.43 today. So the value of $1 from 1971 to 2020, right, is equal to the purchasing power of $6.43. That's an increase of $5.43 over 49 years. The dollar has the average inflation rate of 3.87% between 1971 and today, which a cumulative price increase of 542.54%, right? So you got to look at inflation on average rises about 2% every year. That means increased pricing of goods and services, which means your dollar is able to buy less and less. Now, as you see on this chart, it says the USD inflation since 1913. The reason why it dates the year 1913, because that's the year that the Federal Reserve was created. Who is the Federal Reserve? The people that tax you, right? The people that tax you and tax your dollars. Look, please don't share any links. I know sometimes you all be trying to share educational links, but create your own, YouTube and do that. And but I do know sometimes you all share those links in other articles and things like that, right? But if it's your own personal link or business link, create your own YouTube page and do that. So the buying power of a dollar in 1971, this chart will show you, right, the buying power of a dollar since the dollar was removed off the gold standard, and which means it was no longer money, right? This is how much, right, over time, a $1 bill, the real value of it. So over time, you can see it's decreasing, and decreasing, right? 1981, $1 bill could purchase $2.38. And then we go up the chart until 1999, $4.11, right? 2009, $5.30. So then we get all the way up to 2020 and it's $6.43. So what $1 will purchase, then the buying power over time has drastically decreased from 1971 to where we are today. Again, that means your dollar is able to purchase less and less, right? Which is called inflation. And this is the conversion table. So let's look at this. $1,000 in 1971, people, is equivalent to $6,425.41 today. What $1,000 would buy in 1971, it would take $6,424.41 to buy today. What $100,000 would purchase in 1971 will be $600,425.507.41 today. This is the only time that I really love math, right? Other than that, I have no plan for it, but this is not the stuff they teach you in school. And you're right, Sean, inflation is the hidden tax, and people perish because of lack of knowledge. And so when you don't understand how to keep less taxes out of your paycheck, and your dollar is purchasing less, so you're fighting inflation, you're fighting taxes out of your paycheck, you're being taxed from 20% up to 30% every paycheck. This is why you're living paycheck to paycheck, or in layman's terms, this is why you're broke. And a lot of financial education, webinars, seminars, et cetera, wants to start with budgeting. And I tell people all the time, you can't budget broke, right? You can't budget broke until you understand how to get more money out of your paycheck and not bring home 60 to 70% on the dollar. That's the only way. Your cash has to grow, people. Your cash has to grow on average of 3% a year, just to outpace inflation, just to keep up with the rising pricing of goods and services. If your cash is not growing at that rate, it's being swallowed, it's being eaten up by the increased pricing of everyday goods and services. So the first step is to not only pay high interest rates, right, by having bad credit and giving the banks your money. That's another thing that eats up your money, your paycheck. Bad credit, low credit scores. You want to have high credit scores and low interest rates. So when you add all these factors, and then you have to pay or invest for insurance that come out your paycheck, and then taxes to the government, right? And then your insurances that come out of your paycheck, and then inflation, right? And then you add all of this to the mix with bad credit. This is why you're struggling financially. It doesn't matter if you are saving $30 a month on a cable bill. And another thing the home-based business help you do is, whether you're renting or you're a home buyer, the money that's going out of your paycheck to pay for your utilities, to pay for that cell phone bill, right? It allowed that money to flow back into your pocket. And now you have to understand the principle of cash flow. I don't know if I have time to go over the cash flow quadrant tonight, but let me see. It shouldn't take a little while. I don't want this to be, yeah. Let me just flip the chart. This is where the cash flow quadrant comes in, right? This is where the cash flow quadrant comes in. So you have Social Security and Medicare that comes out of your tax. You have your federal tax, you're taxed 6%. Then you have inflation, increased pricing of goods and services. Then you have bad credit, so you have a low credit score and you're paying a high interest rate. And now you're in this part of the quadrant where you are just an employee and you're being taxed. 90% of people in this quadrant, right? You're being taxed out of your paycheck 30 to 40%. Or if you earn a paycheck, and then you have the people that's self-employed, the independent contractors, they are taxed even higher because normally their income is higher, right? So they're taxed at 40 to 50%. This is the higher middle class, right? The six-figure income earners. Then you get on this side of the quadrant, because if you're in a state that tax you both federal and state, your federal and state taxes, that's 13.7%. So when you ask people what's their biggest expense, they think it's their mortgage and their car note, but it's not that. It's your taxes out of your paycheck, and it's the secret silent tax called inflation. And, or as Sean would say, the hidden tax, right? So now, if you take your name and make it into a business, you are taxed less. And this is the secret, the wealth tax laws that the wealthy people know. And I call it hybrid entrepreneurship. So these are the tax loopholes that will keep people wealthy, that keeps you wealthy, that preserves your dollar, because the dollar is depreciating, right? The dollar is depreciated. This is what will help you sustain wealth, because the dollar is purchasing less and less. I just showed it to you all on the graph, right? So now let's watch this. I told you how the straw man and the Wizard of Oz, and if you are just coming in, you need to watch the beginning of this. I show people how through Jack and the Beanstalk, right? Jack traded the cash cow, the cash, for the gold. And this is what the Wizard of Oz teaches as well. The golden brick road represents real money, the gold standard. I showed you also how gold and silver, they were gold and silver certificates, the cash money, right? And then it was not debt. In 1971, cash became debt. So when cash became debt, this is why I inform people to get out of cash and to get into debt, right? Get out of cash and to get into debt. So this is another thing about the straw man and the Wizard of Oz and the hidden secrets that it teaches you about.
I can go now. You okay? Come on. Hey.
you are. Just a little self-confidence and coordination. You're gonna be fine.
You mean all this time the only thing standing between hanging up there and living it up down here were those crows?
Well, they told you couldn't do it, and you believed them.
If I only had a brain.
Let me stop right there. He said, the only thing from living up top, right, from living at the bottom was those crows. This is also another biblical principle. The Bible teaches you that some people got a 30-fold return, a 60-fold, and a 100-fold return. And it also teaches you, right, and we'll probably have Credit Church about this Sunday. This is why I tell people it is just not enough to give. You have to know how to harvest. Giving is the first part. Giving is the first step to prosperity. It's the first thing that breaks open, somebody said earlier, the matrix. Thank you, 𝒞𝓄𝓃 Clark, for the $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Queen. Someone put in earlier, let me see, if you all just now coming in, put Mary Money, right? We're going to replace that with Mary Money. But someone put, we are living in the matrix. And this is what that means. Will you take the red pill or the blue pill? Will you accept knowledge? Will you take it? Will you accept that everything you taught? What if I told you that everything I taught you about money, about cash, about debt, about credit, about taxes was wrong? One thing that everybody knows that it says two things in life are assurances. What are those two things? What are the two things that society or America has told us that are for sure? Two things that are for sure. I'm going to let you all answer that. So thank you, Queen, for the $20 super chat. So this is our biblical principles as well in the Wizard of Oz, in Jack and the Beanstalk, right? In your fairy tales. It's showing you the hidden secrets that many people, because they prefer entertainment over education, they don't get, they don't understand, right? Sean, those tiny homes will be a great investment as well. Those tiny homes going to be a great investment. So that's something I definitely need to connect with you that I would like to get, right? So you're right, Sean, two things in life are certainty, death and taxes. So why aren't you learning how to leverage your taxes? By shifting your paycheck on this side of the quadrant. I call it hybrid entrepreneurship through the home-based business. So you can bring home, it's one person that joined me in the home-based business, increase his take-home pay by $1,400. He created his own stimulus for him and his wife and their household, right? So they said, how do you give to the channel? Maybe Jesus can talk you out through that. It's something like $$ sign or something on there. And I think you already have to have it connected or to your debit or credit card. And so now it's called The Straw Man. And I will put this link in because you all can go back and watch this video in its entirety, in its fullest. But he's saying the crows, right, is the only thing, and his knowledge is his Michael Jackson, right?
You mean all this time the only thing standing between hanging up there and living it up down here were those crows?
Well, they told
He said, the only thing that's stopping him from hanging up there and living it up down here was those crows, right? I'm telling you what the crows are that's eating up your wealth and eating your money, besides your mindset, right?
you couldn't do it, and you believed them.
If I only had a brain, I would have figured that out a long time ago.
There you go with that negative thinking again. Everybody has a brain.
Not me. Look.
Oh, garbage.
This is garbage.
Ignorance is the night of the mind. A night without moon or star. Confucius said that.
All right, so this is the link. If you all want to watch that in its entirety, right? He opened up and said garbage. You know what's the garbage in most people's minds right now? It's sports, media. It's definitely Donald Trump, right? I thought his acting on The Apprentice was stellar, but he's been stellar as president. And Nancy Pelosi as well, Mitch McConnell, all of those did a great job of distracting you. They even announced earlier this week, that the stimulus be released as early as next week, and people went out spending their money. They said, okay, I'm gonna get $600 back anyway. So let me go ahead and spend a little bit for Christmas, see if I can find that PS5, see if I can find that Apple Watch. Both of them priced around $500 to $600. The two highest sellers, right? My daughter, she asked me to buy me one for Christmas. And I said, no, I'm already on my phone too much during the day. If you give me that Apple Watch, I'd definitely be too glued to, what's going on and not aware throughout the day of what's going on around me, right? So let's look at this other article, second article. The US dollar is losing its value as the national debt explodes, people. This is why giving you advice to get in crypto, right? And assets. Bitcoin is an asset. It's not a currency. Gold and silver is an asset. Land, real estate, rental houses, like Sean says, assets, smaller houses, right? To put the tiny houses on. This is what cash should be converted to, because they took away gold, and we're going to see oil even now to make the petrodollar that made it worth anything. So that's why it's losing its value. So it says, as a sliding US dollar has seized the attention of international currency markets, with many traders left wondering whether it's temporary arbitration or part of the broader trend. The dollar has now dropped 6% in value against the euro since the beginning of 2020, right? Applying pressure to the greenback. So why are you trying to save it? Listen, you save $1,000 today. I showed you on the clip. $1,000 in 1971 is equal to $6,000 you have to spend today. You save $1,000 today, and this week it's able to purchase maybe $900 worth of stuff, especially at the rate that groceries are increasing. So it says the national debt exploded in 2020, and listen, could balloon by $4 trillion to $5 trillion before this year ends. The largest increase in history. I just showed you on one of my other live streams. We have the highest unemployment rate since the summer in history. In the history of the United States, we are making historical bad records, and you are entertained about a $600 or $200 stimulus, when tomorrow on Christmas, millions of people will be evicted because they cannot, the moratorium ends, they are behind on their rents, and millions of Americans' unemployment from the federal government will end tomorrow, at $300. Check this out too. The compounding problem is that the fact that all tax revenues are down. Here comes that word taxes again. Put it all together, what does it mean? The U.S. government revenues is the largest, listen at this, people, since World War II. So why not convert to digital? United States is broke. Oh, thank you so much, Ronald, for the super sticker. Thank you all so much. I'm telling you, you're going to wake up tomorrow and ideas and concepts and things that you need to do. You're not even going to be focused so much that it's Christmas. You're going to enjoy Christmas, but you're going to wake up and some moves that you need to take, or some actions you've been needed to take, and you've been listening to me for a long time, because you gave and you broke through that courage that the lion didn't have, right? You're going to have that courage in the morning, because there are some things in life that you can only give to get. You can only give to get. And you're going to have that courage where you were operating in fear, right? You're going to have that courage to act upon it tomorrow. You're going to wake up tomorrow morning. You're going to celebrate Christmas. You're going to thank thankful you're alive and for your loved ones, but there's some things that you have been hesitant on that you're going to have the courage to step up and do. So let me show you this. This is Brother Polite, right? Or Pilot. I said Polite. I'm sorry. Pilot. Brother Pilot. They extended the moratorium until March. No, they did not. It's not signed, Mark. That is not extended. It ends tomorrow. They did not extend it. I don't even know why. I shouldn't have highlighted that. It is not extended. It is not extended. Actually, the package on the paper, whatever the paperwork that it has to be on, is on a plane right now to Florida. It has not even hit President Trump's desk. So he has 10 days. It is not extended until March. He has 10 days to decide if he's going to sign it. If he does not sign, it automatically expires, and Joe Biden and his new administration will have to pick it up. If he vetoes it, which he does have the power to veto this as well, the stimulus package, just like he vetoed the defense funds, then Congress, right? Congress can then even turn that veto. And so, it probably would be better if he vetoed it. Listen, you saying the government extended moratoriums. Look, people are already getting evicted under the CARES Act. People are already getting evicted. Landlords are saying tenants are having pets. They're being too loud. They're finding other ways to evict people. So I don't know if a governor of a state, maybe his local state, he can stop the court hearings or delay the court hearings. But under the federal act, moratoriums are still, and they will expire tomorrow, along with the last day of payment for those that was receiving additional $300 in federal unemployment, right? Yeah, we're not even gonna we're not even gonna play these games. A lot of people, millions of people are going to be evicted, right? Charles said, I heard Democrats trying to put 2,000 in stimulus package and Republicans block it. It doesn't matter at this point. If you're 6 months behind in rent, what matters if you get 600 or 2,000? I keep telling you all, the Republicans and Democrats sleep in the same bed. Trump is not the only one playing golf. Did you all know, for example, Nancy Pelosi's husband got a PPP loan? And Mitch McConnell's wife got it as well. So it does, look, this is all, either you're going to play chess or checkers. Either you're going to take this financial education that I'm giving to you and thankful for the people that donate, but usually the people that comes with, I think, the insignificant comments are the ones that don't even give to the channel or the knowledge, right? Queen, you better prophesy. Go ahead and break through to your genius. Thank you. It ends on Christmas. The moratorium and the unemployment. Does not matter who's blocking it. Look, this is all a game. Okay, let's just say the Republicans did block it. Well, the Democrats had 4 to 5 months to get this passed. Why would they wait till the last minute? 4 to 5 months. Nancy Pelosi, the House, the Senate had to get this passed. Why would they wait to the last days of December? It is all a game. And they are all planning it. And we are, some people, I'm not putting myself in that category, you're just pawns. And they're on their chessboard. Both of them alike. Listen, some of you, I can't even tell me who the president was in 2000, in the year 2000, because they get in office and they all do the same things. They all do the same things, whether it's a Democrat. You probably say, you know what the most that minorities can tell me, or people in the Black and brown community can tell me about Barack Obama, is that he gave my baby some health care, Obamacare. My baby had health care. That's all they can say that he did for the Black and brown community. And it's very unfortunate. Millions of people will suffer. right? Millions of people will suffer. How about that? It ends on Christmas because it could not end on 31st because the 31st is a Thursday, so it has to end on the first full week of the month, which is on Christmas, right? My rent is due. You're unemployed. So what did you get the $600 a week in July? Did you get the $1,200 stimulus in July? Were you one of the people that got the $600 unemployment in addition to the state unemployment that began over the summer or in the spring? And I'm asking a lot of people today, what did you do with the $1,200 unemployment then? Where did that money go? Right? Should have been saving that money for such a time as this. A lot of people just mismanaged it. They didn't spend it well. They went out and bought steaks, seafood, new vehicles. And then a lot of them had 3-month deferment on their rent, mortgages, as well as then that they accepted when they could have been using that $600 in stimulus to keep their rent payments up so they wouldn't be months behind in rent. Right? So let's watch this.
Hundreds of people.
Sorry.
No, it's
Turn
okay.
left after 1 mile onto
It's okay.
I-10.
It's okay. I'm gonna keep it on real quick. Okay. You know, for the Negroes, it was when I filmed it off my phone. When I be filming off my phone, it be having a different aspect ratio. So people be like, "Yo, the money look too big," but my face also be stretched. You think the face is that long? But they accepted my long face. But when the money got stretched due to the aspect ratio, they said the money's fake. The guy with the long face over-exaggerated is true. That's how crazy people are. Yo, so I'm like, yo, let me make sure. I just make sure that you guys understand. Okay, this is movie prop money, right? So then when it's movie prop money, on the back, when it's movie prop money, then I guess I got the movie prop money counter, right? Like, it's like, yo, why is it so hard for people to just accept black greatness? So I just came out, and one of the main reasons I pulled this money out the bank is I like to see what I got. I like tangible evidence of my energy, currency, electricity that I burn. But another thing is, on the real, I really like to hold this money one last time because we coming into a world where by the time our children are our age, they're going to look at these pictures of us holding money and they'll be like, what is that? Because we enter in a cashless society. And that's the new class. That's the end of the year lecture I expect everybody to be in.
All right, he said we're entering a cashless society. The title of this video, I put the link in the description, in the comments, cryptocurrency is making us millions. See, I don't have to take my time to share this with you all, share these videos. I'm making it easy and convenient for you to get a financial education going into 2021. I've told you all digital currency is here, right? I told you all, and that's one reason why it is not about Democrats or Republicans, right? This money cannot be distributed until the digital wallets is ready. I told you all January the 1st, the IMF, the International Monetary Funds, right, is switching to digital currency January 2021. This is all a game. It's all a distraction. This is all a distraction to keep you distracted. So it looks as if, or it appears that it's Trump, it's this person. Let me show you International Monetary. Well, let me show you this article first, and then it'll lead, right? Sandra, you need to take notes and you give a donation too, because I can't, I'm trying to explain this stuff. It's simple as I can. But if you're not sowing, you're not giving anything, your mind is not going to receive it. I'm saying it over and over. Because for some people, this explanation is very simple. For you, it's difficulty. It's difficult. And if you give, it'll open up your understanding. But you just want to be on the recipient end. I don't care if it's $1.99. I don't care if it's $5. You need to give something so your understanding can be open. That's what the Bible means about your understanding being enlightened. You need to give. That's why King Solomon got wisdom. It took giving to get that. That's why the Bible said the children of the darkness are more intelligent concerning money and trading than the children of the light. People of the light don't want to give. They want people to give to them. This is not a charitable. This is my time, my knowledge, and my intellectual transfer energy I'm giving you. And if you want to receive it, you need to give something back. Otherwise, you'll always be asking questions, and this will be illegal for you. You will not comprehend it. So Japan prepares for digital currency. Why? Now let me stop right here. The reason why you need to give and Sean doesn't, because Sean has already given his time to research this. If you are a person who has not given your time to research this and you're trying to play catch up before January 1st hit, you need to give to the program. You're trying to play catch up. You need to give a super chat so your mind can open up. Your mind would always be closed when you disrespect the law of giving and receiving and reciprocity, right? Sean says this depression we're about to go through will drive some people mad. Unfortunately, the middle class, yes. I have given you all books this year. I have given you knowledge. I'm giving you fairy tales. I've done everything. And you know why some people not getting it? Because you have not given previous time and knowledge to this, and you have not given into what I'm sowing into you. Doesn't work that way. As the Wizard of Oz says, and as the Bible said, that's why the scarecrows, that's why some people get a 30, 60, 100-fold return, and they never enter the kingdom. They never enter into the place of understanding because they don't want to give. They think that it's the other way around where you get. No, it's not. Giving is the first step. And then your courage comes like the lion to take action on the information that you've been hearing over and over and over and over and over and over again that you still can't grasp. You still can't grasp. Right? You still don't get it. I'm trying to understand, Queen, and you think answering me questions is going to, no. That's not why you're not understanding. I can answer your questions all night, but why you're not going to get it? Because you want to get and you don't want to give. I don't care how small the seed is. That's the whole moral of Jack and the Beanstalk. He traded in the cash cow for 3 small beans, magical beans. That's why the Bible said he gives seed to the sower. You all need to hashtag credit church. You're making me go to credit church. And the reason why I always refer to the church or the Bible is because the Bible is nothing more than a book about how to live on this earth, just like the Wizard of Oz, right? Just like Michael Jackson said in The Wiz, you mean to tell me the only thing that kept me from hanging up there and living better down here was my knowledge? Yeah. That's what it was. Your knowledge and your lack of courage to take action, right? Queen, can I use credit cards to purchase stock, Bitcoin, silver, and gold? You can use it for silver and gold and some cryptocurrency. This is the platform that you can use your credit cards, because I did this today, or a credit card to get the cryptocurrency. This site, or this link to crypto.com is where you can go to sign up for crypto, and you also get a free $25 credit once you use my affiliate link for this. So this is the link to sign up. This platform, you can use credit card. Some people use Coinbase. Coinbase is very user-friendly. But Coinbase, you have to use directly from your checking account. You have to use Cashflow Coinbase for your crypto. And you all, I've been thinking, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to, like my Queen of Coins affiliate link. I think I'm going to make a Queen of Crypto affiliate link, and I'm going to give you the crypto, the altcoins, and the blockchains that I am investing in and why, and give you the education behind it. So with Coinbase, you have to connect your checking account. It is user friendly, right? But you get $10 in free Bitcoin when you buy or sell at least $100 or more with this link. And then this link is some of the crypto, some of it are blockchain or altcoins. You can't use your credit card. I recommend both of those for beginners. Yeah. So it is 5G is going, and this book is discussing 5G. Again, I just got it today, so I haven't read it. I will do a book review on this as well, like I always do. I probably will only do the book reviews now for people that sign up on my YouTube Patreon channel. So I'm not going to do public book reviews anymore. Right? We're going to do this for people that that's a member. I'm going to set it has to be a monthly subscription, and all of this stuff that I was probably would have did publicly, I'm not going to do it, right? Because people are not. My mentor told me, I spoke with my mentor this week. He said, did you notice that when Jesus spoke in public, he told things in parable to the public, but when it came down to his disciples, to the 12, and then from the 12 to the 3, he spoke to them in private. So I think I've been giving away way too much stuff about the books I read and everything I do in public. And now it's only going to be open for people that's a member of my YouTube subscription, monthly subscription, Patreon channel, to help you position yourself for the greatest wealth transfer this generation has ever experienced, right? So IMF, International Monetary Funds, World Bank, G2 countries to create, listen at this, central bank digital currency, just October 13th, 2020. There we go. Central bank digital currency rules, right? Why are you not converting your cash into where we're going into 2021? So you can stay ahead financially. Again, Bitcoin, for example, is an asset. Bitcoin has grew, I think, over 100, let me see, 100 and something, probably more than that this year. While your dollar is losing value, Bitcoin is increasing in value. Bitcoin 2020 return, let's look at that. It hit its all-time high of 24,000. Year-to-date gain for Bitcoin, people, 177%. So has you converted your cash that's laying in the banks until at least Bitcoin, instead of your dollar or cash losing its value, right? It would have been increasing in value. If you would have got into Bitcoin, even at the $6,000 price range, it's at $24,000 today. So that's a 4 times return on your investment. Thank you so much, Ronald King, for the $10 super chat. Everything is going to come to you. You're going to have a mental and a courage to go ahead and take action on what I'm explaining. So this is what Sean means, that Japan and China, they have more gold in the United States. I'm going to show you a clip that show you that we don't have the gold. Gold is the real money, right? That's what central banks want. They're preparing for the digital currency in line with China. Japan is gearing up for preparation of the insurance of digital currency, both public and private. Virtual money issued by central banks is called central banks digital currency, or the CBDC, and it's used for cashless payments from your smartphone are electronic cards. Some private companies, including ones established. You got Facebook Demi. So a lot of people that do business on Facebook and Facebook Marketplace will have digital currency to make those exchanges with. And so digital currencies, they are different from credit cards because they are cashless payment. This is the big thing. Digital currencies are different from credit cards, people. There's electronic payment, right? As they expect to provide retailers commission-free payments. See, when you use credit cards now, that business, that merchant, they're charged commission. Cryptocurrency is taking them into commission-free payments. That's why AI have to be here, artificial intelligence, right? And then we have people who credit card debts are increasing. This is why they have to use credit cards, right, to purchase their essential goods and items. So we got delayed unemployment benefits. This will be tomorrow. The $300 will be cut off for those who are receiving it. And then people are higher in credit card debt, 20,000 credit card debt and negative bank account, right? This is one woman cause for waiting on unemployment. What if you use your credit card though to invest in assets? What if you use your credit for that? Because the banking system is going to be restructured anyway. So you might as well get some assets out of this, right? Financial Congress approved $7.7 billion for broadband and yes, Sean. That's why the radiation had people sick in 5G, right? And you don't, but we won't even get into that. We'll be talking into Christmas, right? My live stream will be too long. The investment in crypto infrastructure is seen without knowledge. So people, I have shared with you all everything that I want to share in this live stream. Again, if you did not see the beginning of this, you need to watch Jack and the Beanstalk that I shared in the beginning. And hey, give me 1 second. Okay. All right. In the beginning, and then what happens is the petrodollar collapse. I'm going to share this with you. Then we're logging out because Saudi Arabia right now, what helped us keep the US dollar, right, after we moved out the gold standard was the oil. And Saudi Arabia agreed to only exchange its oil, right, for US dollars, right? And so in 2019, let me pull this article up. Right before the collapse of the banking system, which is also called the repo market, right? Which is also called a repo market, not when your vehicle is repossessed. It's called a repo market. It's when the banks exchange large funds, and I made another video about this, is why your checks, if you still use checks, on the bottom of the signature line, it says authorized user, right? And your name or business entity and checks is in all caps, because once you deposit your money to the bank, it's not your money anymore. So if you look on, find a check or just Google it, and it says signature line and memo line, right? It has to make you the authorized user, because once you deposit that money to banks, you are no longer the authorized user or say so, right? And so banks trade your money overnight in the repo market, and banks in September, right before this health pandemic came along the scene or was announced, went broke. So what happened also in 2019 that didn't make, of April of 2019, that didn't make the local news, is that Saudi Arabia threatened to ditch the dollar or trades to stop NOPEC. Sources: Saudi Arabia is threatening to sell its oil currencies anything other than the dollar if Washington passes a bill exposing OPEC members to the U.S. antitrust laws, 3 sources familiar with Saudi energy policy said. And so now you have China, who's become partners in trading with Iran, which is what, 700 miles, 650 miles from Saudi Arabia and their oil. China is making alliances with Iran. They made alliance with Russia, which owns the largest amount of gold reserve. Saudi Arabia, right? And China and Saudi Arabia also made $1 billion bill for natural gas. So that's why when you see the oil industries and oil workers, right, are laid off across the United States, in Texas and other areas, this is why, right? This is why. So let me see if I can find that article because I wasn't planning on. This is China is changing this. And I'm telling you all this, because I'm telling you our dollar, this is why we have to change to cryptocurrency. The dollar is, the value is worthless. It's not trash because it still can buy assets with it, but it's definitely not king anymore. And this is why it's devalued. China's changing oil strategy and foreign policy. So they moved to natural gas with Russia, and they've created their own crypto, and they have accumulated more gold than the United States. And so I showed you that once the dollar is devalued, then the foreign imports and exports pricing increase, which includes what we get from the soybeans and et cetera, and all that things, right, from China. So the Fed had to, yes, Azus, thank you. The Fed had to bail out the banks through the repo market, right? And if it is over your head, I'm sorry, but I got to give it to you fast because we got 6 days until 2021 hits, right? Sean says also Philippines has a lot of gold. These countries will no longer be third world countries. The U.S. had her day. Yes, we did. We ruled for a long time. So that's why I tell people, get out of cash and get out of credit. Get these, this cheap debt that they're offering, right? Get these, this EIDL grant for businesses. Change your name, economic injury, disaster loans for small businesses, right? See if you qualify. Get into debt, right? And get assets. Get a higher return on your investment. Get these assets. You should have a business entity, especially for those who, if you join a home-based business with me, get your LLC, get your EIN, get out of cash and get into credit, your cash. And when these prices increase, when the stimulus really is agreed upon, it's going to cause a more increase on your goods and services. So that's why it was said that people, let me see, can I pull this up? Will pass by cash in the streets and just walk over it. The Simpsons predicted this. The Simpsons predicted this. They presented crypto. Let me see if I can find it. Let me put up that video on my channel. Yeah, the Simpsons predicted the dollar collapse. Let me share this with you all.
Oh, China, is there nothing that can't be made in you?
What did Bart say? China. China. We called out China.
Oh, China, is there nothing that can't be made in you? Ah, my first sucker.
Oh, $1. It's a trick. It's a trick. It's a trick.
What did he say about that dollar? It's a trick. Tell you people, it's all in the cartoons and fairy tales.
I never needed these. I never need.
What did he say? I never needed these, right?
Needed these. I never needed these.
Oh, looky here. It's the old fishing line on a dollar bill prank. Dollar bill prank. Dollar bill prank. Man, even a backwoods, no account, inbred, lead paint eating, kerosene huffing, roadkill chomping. What was my point? My point?
Stepped on the dollar.
That is a practical joke, Luann.
This isn't right. No one's falling for my pranks.
And then look what's right here in the segment that they won't allow you to get.
At least it wasn't a total waste. I found a quarter.
What did they tell you about the quarter? Buy coins. Said the coins, for whatever reason, right? Were coin shortage. Coin shortage. Why coin shortage? Because coins have nickel, right? A little copper in them. They wanted all their coins, nickel and copper, gold, silver, all of those will be big commodities, right? Big commodities. So, or great assets to have, as well as cryptocurrency. So, hey, I'm signing out. Sean says yes. Yeah, zero. Every printed paper started at zero. So where should you start? If you want to build your credit, now I will tell you this, credit right now, because USPS is delayed, so is credit mail-in disputes. And it's best to mail them in disputes and not do them online, because you relinquish some of your rights if you try to dispute online, right? So with the United States Postal Service backed up, so will be credit returns, where we used to take 5 to 7 days. Now it will be maybe 7 to 10 days before your affidavit even reach the credit agencies. But if you want credit help, I am on vacation right now because I know this, right? And I just need a mental break. But if you want to get a consultation with me, go to my website, click credit help. My website is www.fixmycreditandcash.com. Go ahead and get in line. I will start January 11th with starting back credit affidavits, disputes, but you have to invest in your credit analysis first in order to get the quote and what it's suggested that it's done to your credit, right? And also the quote that comes along with it to start utilizing your credit. And so again, you can expect in 2021 for it to take longer for your credit repair to happen because of the delays of the U.S. Postal Service, which will put people back anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks from the normal 30 days. And there's nothing no one can do about that, because your 30 days that the credit agencies have to respond to a dispute, only the clock only starts ticking when they get your affidavit or whatever you write, a letter. I do affidavits, receive, right? And the only way to track that is with your certified receipt. I'm signing out. Merry Christmas to you all. Merry money to you all. We'll not be doing a live stream tomorrow. May see you this weekend. We'll just see how the economy heads and how this stuff unfolds. You all be safe tonight if you're going out enjoying friends and family or social spots. Be safe, drive safely, right? Here's to your health and your wealth, your credit and your cash flow, and your peace and prosperity, right? Queen of credit, cash flow, coins, silver and gold, and crypto out. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you as well. Good night, Sean. Good night. Thank you so much.